Laugh, learn, and eat. Yo, Fobby on the beat. Talking leadership, making the big plays in the mortgage game through the sun and the haze. Close more deals, build your success. Time to level up and beat the stress. Get ready to laugh, learn, and eat. Laugh, learn, and eat. Your weekly seat. Let's go.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Laugh, Let It Eat the podcast. And I'm your host, Bobby Naghmi, with my trusted sidekick is back in town from the great state of Minnesota. It is no one other than, hey, you get your little doggy back there.
Yeah, look at that.
Neal.
And that's Clifford, my co-host.
You get your own little podcast. You're like the little podcast inside the podcast.
Yep.
The new version of the PIP.
Yeah. You know, he heard the theme song. He came running after he heard that theme song. He couldn't get enough.
Really? Clifford likes our songs.
He loves it.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a cool dog, man. I like Clifford.
He knows good stuff when he sees it.
Yeah. I'm thinking, is he alive?
He just thinks I've got a lot of big time stuff happening in my life. He's like, I better stay close to this guy, make sure he's good.
Justin, you haven't been with us for what, 2 weeks in a row?
I was golfing.
Golfing.
Real golfing. Not disc golfing.
So now you admit that disc golf is not real golf.
They run side by side. I do both.
Okay. So how is how is your golf game?
I had not swung a club all year, and so some 3 putts did occur to my dismay. Nothing feels worse than a great drive. You're on the green, you 3-putt. Nothing feels worse.
Well, that's that old saying, right? Drive for show, putt for dough.
Yep. I was very frustrated, but I had a good time.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, let's talk about some timely stuff real quick. We got a few minutes here, right? Yep. Obviously, yesterday they were supposed to sign the housing bill.
Didn't happen.
And our president said, nope, not going to do it.
Oh.
Now, I didn't veto it. So there was some confusion. I want people to understand it hasn't been vetoed.
Right.
So it's not like he's vetoed. What he's saying is, I'm going to hold this hostage until you guys pass this other bill that I want passed. So, but he didn't veto it.
Which I guess is a good thing. It's still on his desk.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you seen that housing bill though? What it does?
No.
I think the biggest thing that it's doing from what I read about it, right? I didn't get a big like dive into it, right? But it stops the institutions from buying the investment properties finally, right? Which we all talked about was going to increase home ownership by 0.06%.
But that Fobby, I'll take anything. Give us more inventory.
I don't think that was 0.06% was going to give. Anyway, whatever, right? And then I was going to expand affordable housing programs, which is really what I was really looking forward to, right? Yeah. I think that was a big thing. But What are you going to do, man? I mean, Congress is what it is. We're in a situation right now where it's just kind of all jammed together.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Right? Anything else new, exciting on the news front that we want to discuss?
Let's see here. Are you predicting still our next rate meeting will be a rate hike? Is that what I heard you say to me?
I said before the end of the year, I said this about 3 to 5 weeks ago, somewhere on there, that in order to curb inflation, we were going to have to raise the Federal Reserve overnight lending rate. Yes.
Are you still tracking with that being your final answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, probably 2 cuts at this point. I mean, 2 raises. 2
raises?
Yeah. Probably have to do 2 raises.
But it's June. 2 raises yet this year?
By the way, I don't know if you saw the rates improve today.
They did see that, yeah.
They're betting on the Fed raising the rate.
I don't.
I'm just telling you, it's. Have you ever seen that cartoon movie with the little speed car?
And Gonzalez?
No, and the little tow truck Tater,
yeah. Ka-chow, cars. Yeah.
Cars, right?
Yeah.
And he said you got to kind of steer your car into the turn.
Yeah.
In order to get the turn faster, right? You can't go the other way. You got to go into the crash. So you come out of it, go straight. That's what we're doing with the interest rates. We've got to do something counterintuitive to get the rates down.
He did say, okay, so that's a stretch, but I do follow your train of thought there.
Same thing when you're on a slippery road in Minnesota, and your car starts going to the right. You don't turn that wheel to the left.
I think I do.
That's probably why you had so many accidents.
No.
You got to turn it into the right, man. You got to go into the slide.
That's where the danger is.
Yeah. So that's the same thing we're doing with the interest rates. Same thing. So listen, here it's time for something fun. Right. This is my fun music, right? You know what time it is, right?
Yep.
This is where I vent a little bit. When we stop police, right? And this time last time we talked about recruiting and all the hoopla that we make when we bring people on board, right? This time, can we just stop with the big exit? The emotional exits. Right? I finally decided to put myself first. I had to think about this. And my favorite, I swear to God, I'm a very religious guy myself, but after much reflection and prayer, and they're giving you a $150,000 signing bonus. That's why you left. There was so much prayer there.
I tell you what I love. I love the coffee cup. And I love the people behind clapping.
Yes.
Who's clapping. Operations is clapping like, get him out of here.
This emotional exit crap. It's not working. Okay. Can we start with the early leak? You know, the guy who tells everybody he's leaving. You know what I mean? Except the boss who finds out at the golf course that Joe's leaving. You know what I mean? Because have you seen that guy like, hey, I'm going to be leaving. I just want you to know that you were a great person to work with.
Yep.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Am I supposed to just sit on it now forever? You know what I mean? So stop the early leak. Can we please stop that, right? How about this one, Justin? How about this one? Can we stop the great data heist? For God's sakes, it's 2026. You don't need to steal the data. You can literally download your entire CRM data like overnight now. You know that, right?
You know, I have people still they try and take photos of their screen. I'm like, don't do that.
Think about this. This was actually a true story that I put on here, where someone said at 11:43 that night we saw them upload 14,000 contacts on their computer. And it was going to a file that was called vacation.
That's a real story?
It's a real story.
No way.
I didn't make that one up, man.
Vacation photos. Don't look in here. They're not what you think it is.
Oh, okay. He's just uploading 14,000 pictures before he leaves us.
That's a hell of a vacation.
All right, don't do that. Don't.
Can we stop that? Can we stop that?
Because by the way, that's how most lawsuits occur. Is with the data.
Yeah.
Data is your number one lawsuit that's just waiting to happen. If you just walk away clean, most of the time they'll leave you alone.
Yep.
So anyway, all right. How about this one right here, Justin? The disappearing loan officer.
Oh,
you know that guy, right?
I know this person.
Right?
Yep.
Stop pulling credit reports, stop showing up for the meetings,
Yep.
stop answering the phone calls, right? You
Yep.
got a realtor calling you all of a sudden saying, hey, we gave him a contract 3 weeks ago. Where is it? You ever had that phone call?
Oh yeah. No, I've had people, but yeah.
What? Go on. You say it, Justin.
Well, I'm saying, can we stop ghosting? I'm not a fan of. I don't like ghosting. I've never liked ghosting. I know it's a thing, but just don't ghost in general. But especially if you're this loan officer.
Look, if you're going to transition to another company, you want a smooth transition.
Yep.
The best thing to do is not disappear from your current company and let your clients have a miserable ending.
Nope. That's the worst. Yep.
And then also everyone's looking for you.
And those realtors, they're getting a bad stomach feeling about you at that moment.
Yeah. So please stop that, right? And last but not least, can we please stop the bridge burner?
The bridge burner.
Yeah, dude.
Burn it down.
This mortgage industry is a very small industry, and we all know each other. I hate to say it, man, but we all know each other, right?
I've never liked any of you people.
There's a guy right now that I hope
What's his name?
I'm not going to say his name, but I hope he does listen to my podcast because he knows who he is. We're not working together again. And he tried to be my boss at a previous company, and I told him to go F himself. Now, I was the one who burned my bridge. But here he is again, but now we're on equal playing footing with each other.
Small world, Fobby.
Yeah, I know.
Is he in DC? Is he in Virginia? Where is this guy?
No, he's not there. No.
See, again, small world. You think that you're by yourself in your little bubble. It's a small mortgage world out there.
Yeah, and tables turn, man. Tables turn. You never know who it is. You know what I mean? So I put this little list together, Justin. I want you to do this from now on. Be grateful, be professional, be respectful, and be the standard that other people look up to. I think if we do that, then we have a graceful exit.
And don't 3-putt.
Don't, who cares if you do 3-putt, man? You're not. Were you betting your father on that stuff?
No, but it's
shut up already, man. Who cares?
It hurts.
Who cares? Who cares, man?
I was 10 feet away.
Oh, you suck.
How's that impossible?
I mean, 10 feet. Like, oh, you should be.
Bing bong, bing bong.
That's like a warm-up putt.
I just ran it long, got scared coming back.
You haven't played forever, right?
Say what?
You haven't played forever.
I haven't played since last year, so there's that.
Yeah, I haven't played in 2.5, 3 years. So
what? Oh man,
my left shoulder went out years ago. So anyway, can we please stop these bad exits? If you're going to leave a company, just leave the company. It's okay. You're not the first one and the last one to leave.
Yep.
Right? Have you ever had a bad exit out of your current company?
I've exited one time in a dramatic fashion, but I should have been better about that. So I do look back at these tips, and I could have been a bit less dramatic. It didn't bode well for me. But luckily, the guy that I left is now my coworker again. We're still friends, small world. So I did something right.
All right, good. Well, look, let's move on to my guest today. He is I guess we work together. Ricky and I work together. So he is a member of the AnnieMac family. And I don't think we told you that before we started the show, did we, Justin?
I guessed.
You guessed it? Good.
I saw it.
Look, let me get Ricky Peacock in here. Ricky, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. Have you ever seen bad exits?
I have seen a couple bad exits, and then of course I've had some good ones where I've had some loan officers leave. We stay friends, and then they send me deals later on in life. So
yeah, it's a small world, right?
Very small world.
That's what I'm trying to tell Justin. He's not listening.
It's a big world, Ricky. It's a very big world.
It is some days. Some days it's not. Some days stuff come by and find you real quick.
Yeah, well, good. Listen, whoever doesn't know Ricky Peacock, let me give you. He's our senior vice president of AnnieMac Home Mortgage. He is specifically part of the HSL division, right?
Yes.
Which used to be a company by itself.
Correct.
Then a year ago, you guys decided to merge with AnnieMac, and now you're kind of spearheading our construction-to-perm program, along with some builder programs and that kind of stuff, right? Now, when I was doing my research on you, though, I was really surprised to find out that you were like a #1 USDA loan officer.
Yes.
A couple of years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Yeah. I mean, that's like what, $90,000 loan amounts?
No, at that time it was they were probably about 160,000 when I was doing them, 150 to 160,000.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you get to be #1 in the country, man? That's a lot of you got to be like killing it.
So this is part of where HSL came from. So in 2008, when I opened my company, I wanted to become a lender. That was my whole thing. And so I ended up crashing and burning, like everyone else. Some did. I foreclosed, repo. I lost everything. So I was at a point I was against the wall. So I just went forward. And what I did over the next 5 years was work on, of course, closing loans, but saving the money. So I built myself up from a broker to a banker. It took about 5 years. And part of that was the specialty in new construction loans. So in 2016, I actually rolled out our construction-to-perm platform and developed it to what I did today. And then last year, I ended up selling it to AnnieMac and moving over to run the entire construction division.
Nice. So when you started doing construction-to-perm, I mean, that's got to be kind of like I've done a few construction-perm in the early 2000s myself, right? I was back when there was still land available in Northern Virginia we could build on. Now there's no land, so it's tougher to do CTPs up here. But was it a big jump for you, like from going from like USDA kind of a boilerplate program to all of a sudden expanding into the CTP programs?
No, it was all part of our original plan. So as we worked our way up, so I started in the builder business. In 2009, I got my first builder account, and that's what led to everything. And I ended up getting a mentor who ended up selling his company to Berkshire Hathaway. So he's very intelligent in the construction industry, and he kind of took me under his wing and kind of showed me how the construction worked. And at that time, I was just doing spec homes and in homes when they were ready. And then the time came where the construction to perm was needed, and so that was an entire process of learning it and building it out throughout the years. So it was fun.
What does a builder really want from a lender, Ricky?
A builder, so a builder wants consistency. The biggest thing they find when they're working with other people, because we've always experienced, you go to a lender, you have a buyer qualified, they go to a lender, and then they tell the outside lender no. And the majority of that is because the preferred lender understands their corporate structure, and they're used to managing anywhere from $20 to $30 million of their money at any time with, the amount of homes that they're doing. So, the preferred lender status is what you want. So what you have to do on that case is prove yourself. Just communication, doing what you promised, don't overpromise and underdeliver, do the opposite,
Yeah.
So that's what builders look for. They look for consistency.
Justin, you guys got heavy building going on in Minnesota?
Yeah, we do. And I really appreciate that advice, because it kind of, that parlays to what all LOs should be doing today is the same thing. It's being a good communicator, being consistent, being available, doing the right thing. And so, but I think with builders, that's a referral source you don't ever want to lose. Right. So you can make a mistake.
It's one you never want to lose.
Yeah. I mean, so my question is there room for mistakes, or with builders, is it like, hey, you're done, next?
No, so there's always room for mistakes, but it's about being honest and being transparent. Yeah. So I always say there's a difference in being truthful and then being transparent. So builders really appreciate that, and just letting them know what's going on. And so I've just found out that's the best way. I don't like to lie. I'm not good at it. So and I'm not good at sugarcoating. So I just tell them the truth, and that's what I've found out has worked. And we've been able to work through those problems and issues, and just saying, and if I drop the ball, I drop the ball. The client drops the ball, client drops the ball. It's just a matter of explaining what's going on and just running with that. But you can build a hell of a business model off just finding one little builder, because people forget the other side of it. Not only you getting the builder's deal, you ought to also get the deal if someone comes to the builder and then decides not to buy and goes and buys a home already existing. So you can build a great referral relationship and marketing without spending any money.
Ricky, when someone like Justin is looking at a builder, I mean, should he go after some really large builder that's doing, say, 300 units a year, or should he be going for somebody with 30 units a year?
He should go after all of them.
If it's his first time.
You're going to want to go after all of them. So the purpose of bringing me on was to have the builder background for doing construction. So our platform at AnnieMac not only contains the C2P, but we have the other differentiators as well. The C2K platform. So the cash to keys platform is amazing, and we've been tiering that towards new construction. To help builders with the home to sell contingency using that platform. And we're going to just steadily advance that. So your large lenders or your large builders you're going to go into that do 300, most of them are going to have a preferred lender. That's when you step in and you're going to use the differentiator on the cash to keys platform to get in there. And you're going to want to be a backup for them.
Yep.
And then over time, you try to work your way in. If you get to the small lenders or the small builders, the regional ones that, do 30 to 50 homes, that's where you want to get your preferred, and that's where you can set it up to have your boutique communication with them.
Justin talked about there's like no room for mistakes, or is there room for mistakes? And I guess my question comes down to is like, what's a non-negotiable for a builder? Like, what's that? Is it just don't lie to me? Is it don't communicate fairly with me? Or is there something that's a non-negotiable that if you cross this line, I'm sorry, I like you, Ricky, but I got to move on?
Yeah, so most of that actually is set up in the marketing when you first start. If you over market a product and it doesn't work exactly the way you explain it, that's when you start losing you starting to get discredited. Right. So you start losing your credibility there. Builders, they just want to be transformed. Like, just, this is what we can do. This is what we've actually done. And this is how we can handle you. And in my case, we had a whole process on how we work with builders, and we had statistics showing that by the time we pre-approved a builder till they closed, we had a 95% closing average. And that's over 9 months. So you can imagine we're pulling credit twice, updating income, updating assets. And so as you learn that basis, that's where the C2P came in for us as a marketing tool, because the same builders who were doing end loans and spec homes, we were able to come to them and say, okay, the 5% that does fall out, would you like to have 100%? Because if we put them in a construction perm loan, there's no requalification. And so we use that as our way to get into like, hey, so we have some builders that don't take any draws, right? Because they have money and their money's cheaper, but that's great. But they have our security saying, we know at the
I think we just lost Ricky, didn't we?
I think you froze for a sec. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, how many builders deals do you do, Justin? I mean, have you done any builder deals?
Not many. I'll be honest with you. The times I bump up against builders, it's been the national builders, and I've got borrowers that are pre-approved that get lured away. But I'm getting some excitement here because I'm thinking about. I've always wondered how I could approach a builder and provide value, and I'm hearing a lot of ideas from you as to how that could happen for a guy like me.
So Ricky, let's turn this back a little bit. I know we kind of walked in real quick, right? But like, how does somebody walk into a builder? I mean, they got those little trailer homes or whatever, and they got the little rep sitting in there. You know what I mean? And he's got all this dirt around the rep, and it's like, okay, I knock on the door. It's like I got mud on my shoes and whatever. And how do I walk in there and say, I got the greatest program in the world. You need to listen to me for 15 minutes.
You walk in them first, and the first question you're going to ask is, what are they struggling on?
Oh, there you go.
Not what are they struggling on? What are their other lenders doing great? So you want to get to that point. Let's say if their other lenders say they do these 3 things great, that's when you can say, that's awesome. We also have that, but we also have this one additional thing as well. So, would that give us a chance if they let you down, can we have a shot at if we fit in this 4th category? And then you just work your angle that way to catch their attention. You only need one loan. But
the rep is not the one who's going to make the final decision if they can use your company, right?
The rep is not the one, but they're the ones who are going to get to the general managers. They're the ones who's going to get to the sales managers. They're the ones who, the way the builders work is the builders actually listen to the sales agents, because those are the ones who are dealing with the clients and the ones who are dealing with the lenders. So they have to hit their goals. And so they start asking can you bring the new slice of bread to them? And is this slice of bread taste good like you said it does? And so that's the biggest thing is just, coming in there, 1, with confidence, and 2, knowing what you're doing, and then just listening to them and see what they need.
What if I walk in and say, send me all your turn downs? Is that a good approach?
Why are they turned down?
Maybe asking more about that. I mean, I've heard people making a living off of builder turn downs, and maybe
you can make a tremendous living. I mean, in 10 years, my little company probably did 70 or $80 million in revenue just off starting from one loan. I mean, that's what my entire career was built off, was one loan, which got me to preferred lender status with the rest of the builders.
So did you start with saying, give me the turn down business?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I started with, give me the turn down business. What are you struggling with? And that's where the structure. So that's where the idea of our platform of Blueprint came from. My loan officers have all worked under me closely with me. So they're almost like junior underwriters. They understand the entire start to finish of the process structuring. They've probably seen, so on average, we would get 3,000 to 4,000 applications a year, but we're sharing those as a team to look at them collectively.
Okay.
And my average loan officer has been there 10 years. So we've looked at 75, 80,000 credit reports running AUS. I teach them to think outside the box. So that's what I always have taught them to do, because it helps them in other scenarios. So it's the same thing it's what Blueprint came about, is for people who want to get in the C2P world or want to get into the builder business and need the hands-on training to walk them through it. Someone you can ask or call who's been there. And that's where my experience comes in, is to bring that, say, okay, here's how we would do this, is how you're going to approach this builder. This is how you need to approach this builder. Because builders, we generically put them all in the same category, but they're not.
I never heard that before. So there are different categories of builders.
Yeah. So you have small, regional, large.
So it is by size then. It's not like they're like nice builders and bad builders and asshole builders.
No, it's typically the size. Like if they're small, they're building in a county. If they're regional, they're building in a state, maybe 2. And then you have your national builders. Your national builders, you can make a fortune off on your cast offs, but you're simply doing the cast off business and then your differentiated products.
Right.
So to answer to how my specialty works for you to walk in a builder, like I can create, we have the Flex Forward, for example, product.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people hadn't looked at it, but I've put together an entire thing behind the scenes for the platform on how the buy now, or sorry, for how the Flex Forward should work. Right. So you can walk into a builder who's regional or small and say, this is what I have a couple of them doing right now. They don't have the money to do a large forward commitment up front to take down that $2 to $3 million. So we do the small flex, and now they're able to compete. We have one right now. We locked at 4.75 with a 2-1 buy down, all made possible because of the flex forward to get past the IPCs. But that gave them advantage to compete against, the big guys across the street at a no risk charge. So that's part of the builder platform. So that's your way in. If you can get in, then maybe you can get CDP loans. But if not, then you've increased your business and your flow.
And so, I mean, basically what you're saying is like bringing in something that they don't have, adding value, right? And being able to then engineer results for them that they haven't been able to get before.
Correct.
If you can do those three things, you should be able to secure a builder account.
You should be able to, yep.
Or at least you're going to in the back seat or the passenger seat as backup and eventually work your way into the driver's seat.
Yes, because, and I'm telling you, the sales agents are the ways in. So when we did our thing with Zonda, they'll tell you the sales agents are the way in, because those are the people who are on the street doing it every day. The sales managers are responding to corporate on numbers and promotions, but they need to know real world, like what's not working. Timmy at this bank is not working anymore. They changed their products. We need something different.
Well, Ricky, I gotta imagine, man, they gotta have at least 15 Ricky Peacocks walking into their office every single month.
They do.
So what made you stand out to them? Like, what's that X factor that you got, man?
His name, first of all, his name is amazing.
No,
he's strutting in there.
No, it was being available when they are. So our team's available 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Builders work weekends. And then it's understanding the structure and how to train them. So we also train our agents as well for them to understand programs. Not to the level we do, but for them just to have a generality of
an understanding. Yeah.
And the biggest thing we find is, so you asked earlier about Scotsman Guide. So when I actually did my interview with them, they asked me what made me different. Kind of like, and all I said was I answered the phone. That's it. That's the real difference. I answer the phone and I respond to people. And
it's so funny. Shan Bonansian says the same thing. The #1 loan officer in the country.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And it's all about expectations. So if someone sends me an email, we have an amazing Microsoft platform. So I literally reply back to them. And then I have all kinds of rules set up that pops back in my inbox. I'll say, hey, look, I'm gonna look at this at 3 o'clock, and they know an answer. And then at 3 o'clock, it pops up and I'm working on it. And then I send them the answer. If not at 3 o'clock, I'm saying, hey, I'm still working on it. I'll get back to you in an hour. But it's just the communication, because some people are like, oh, it's there. I read it, but I marked it unread, but the client doesn't know that.
Exactly.
So
it's good communication.
So the communication is the biggest aspect of how we do stuff. If something goes longer, we have a rule. If it goes more than 3 emails, you pick up the phone and call them.
It's a good rule.
Oh, love that. That's hands down the best one right there. All right, let's go forward a little bit, because now we're about a week away, less than a week away from our big July 1st reveal date, right? And nationwide, we'll be doing, AnnieMac will unveil our construction-to-perm program nationwide, right? Which has been your puppy now, or baby, that you've been kind of like coddling and holding and making sure it's ready to walk on July 1st, right?
Yes.
So, nervous? Are you nervous?
I'm not.
Totally cool.
If it had been my first go around, I'd be nervous, but I've had experience in building systems out with coding. I've been there as far as building hedges, building optimal blue, understanding AUS algorithms. So it was really easy on my part to just kind of step in and just make sure we were going in the right directions and flows. AnnieMac has the rest of it covered, so that's nice.
So AnnieMac was able to give you some good team and support underneath, right? I think.
Yes, I mean. Yep. And then luckily I had a coder on staff for me when we shut down that I kept. And so she just transitioned over about a month and a half ago. So her job is to make Encompass more efficient as well.
All right. So here's my magic question for you, because this is where a lot of my loan officers were asking me after I came back from Philadelphia. And I was like, guys, we're going to do the CTP. Love it, because I've done CTP, like I did a fair amount of it. But to me, it's not that hard of a loan. It's just, but I get it, right? There is a mental block to some people when it comes to CTP because there's some challenges, right? So walk us through like the ideal CTP process that Ricky would tell everybody. This is A, B, C, D, and you'll have no headaches.
The easiest process is a conventional loan when the borrower already owns the land. Oh. That is the absolute easiest. And the reason why I say that is Fannie Mae has no overlay on how long the borrower has to have it. And so you can have a couple different factors that I like into it. We're going to use simple numbers. You could buy the land for $50,000 and your build's $250,000, and that's a $300,000, right? Mm-hmm. Under Fannie Mae's guideline, if they already own the land, if the home appraised for $350,000, it already gives you your equity in the property. They don't have to necessarily. They could have just bought the property for $50,000 and still owe $50,000 on it, and now they have $50,000 in equity because that's what it appraised for. That's the easiest loan you can do is a conventional. The borrower already owns the land.
What's the most difficult?
Here we go.
The most difficult product we don't offer would be a USDA loan. So okay. That's one of the most difficult because there's a lot more challenges with it. But we tried to make all products very simple using the system to guide it.
Is FHA, because look, with FHA, I'm looking at 96.5 LTV, right? Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm looking at, okay, I got a finished value of $300,000. So I can borrow 96.5% of that for my construction. Is that a good way to think about it? Yeah. So if you buy we're in the same scenario, you buy on the land for $50,000 and $250,000, your loan your LTV is going to be 96.5% on that. So that gives the borrower a lot of money to build a house. Then
it does.
I mean, we're not talking like an 80 LTV now.
Nope.
So I mean, I guess that this is where my guys got a little confused. Like, why would we want to do that? Why would we want to give that kind of money on a new build?
Why not?
I knew he was going to say that.
I mean, you have to understand. So the amount of homes that are available when we look at nationally, we're under. So we have to build, yeah. And that's where we want to capture more of that market. So it's a huge market out there that's untapped. All right. So we're going to do conventional. We're going to do FHA. We're going to do VA. Yep. Those are the first three that roll out. And VA is 100% financing. 100%. And then conventional is 95%. So the big thing that people need to understand with CTP, and if I'm right, if I'm wrong, cut me off, okay, Rick? But the big thing is you're looking at a appraised completed value. So not as the home is sitting there. Right. So you got the $50,000 land, you got a $250,000 construction proposal, right? And the appraiser says, what it's done, Fob, this house will be worth $350,000. Am I right? Okay. Yep. I'm following that scenario. Right. So if I was going to do a VA loan, I could do 100% up to $350,000. You could do on a VA loan. You're going to remember that the easiest loan was conventional. Mm-hmm. So on a VA loan, you're going to be capped at the $300,000. They don't give you the appraisal value. Same thing as FHA. FHA, when you own the land, they only give you the value of the land. Got it. All right. So it's not a completed value then. It's the land value. Yep. Right. So yeah. So when like I said, conventional's absolute easiest one, but you could get in that different scenario where you're doing an FHA loan and you buy it for $50,000 and then you're building for $250,000. If its appraised is at $60,000, you can use the $60,000 value. But if you add those together, that's only $310,000. Even if the house appraised for $350,000, you can only use the $310,000 value of that. So they're going to take the lesser. That's why I say conventional is the absolutely easiest product in the world.
I got a question for you, just your opinion. So, I mean, Americans, we love new, nice stuff. We like to spend and get new fancy cars, big car payments. Do you see a trend in the average homeowner that's had a house for 5 or 6 years going, I want something new and fancy and I'll go back to 30-year fixed? Is that a thing that's happening more or less the same that it was 10 years ago?
It is, and most of the people now are buying starter houses, and then they're growing, and then they're wanting something different, something either more they're like or updated, or they're tired of maintenance, whatever the case may be. But a lot of our people we see is who are doing construction to perm loans are prior owners.
Okay, so it's really okay. So that's your biggest bulk is those prior owners that are like, I'm sick of maintaining my house. It's older. I want something brand new and awesome. I've been in the starter home. We've done that. Let's go get ourselves something fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ricky, let's talk about this real quick. When a loan officer gets his very first CTP program per loan, right? I know we're going to have some requirements that they can't be the quote unquote loan officer on the very first deal.
Correct.
So what is that about?
Yeah. So my challenge when I came over was to how do we increase C2P production on AnnieMac, which they haven't had the product in a while. So how do we increase that? The majority of loan officers at AnnieMac who've been there haven't done C2P. So they didn't come over to AnnieMac to do C2P because it wasn't there. So the problem to solve was how do we take people who are not used to the product and make them used to the product? So we came up with the first path, which was referral, and someone can send it in referral. And what we're wanting to do is wanting to do 5, but during those 5 is we're training them live on how these work, and for them to understand how the disclosures look, how the AUS works, how the structuring's different, and explaining all the stuff you don't get on a guideline or a job aid when you read it. So the idea was to take them from someone that knew nothing, put them into a scale after 5 loans, and then from there on, they're getting the full commission, but they still have our backbone of support to do everything. So, to make sure that if they get stuck on something on the weekend, they can get an answer. If they need help structuring something, they can get an answer. They don't understand this file and they need credit review, we can help with that. So that was the purpose, is to take someone from 0 to 100 and do that. Now there are people that I've talked to that have been in AnnieMac and are experienced in construction to perm loans. Those are great. Those are the exception, but not the rule of what it was based for when I came over.
How long is the learning curve? I mean, what do you think? 5 loans is like
5 loans is a very good learning curve. Just because now, if you do all 5 conventional refis, then no, you're not going to have much of a learning curve. But that was the purpose, is when you do get into the 5th one or the 6th one, that's an FHA loan, that you don't get stuck. You can have someone right there who, okay, we're going to walk you through this, and it's no big deal. And so that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to provide live support to close loans. That's the biggest thing, is you're only as good as your last loan. So get loans in, get them approved, make sure they're good, especially for builders. You want stuff, whatever we say we're going to do, we're going to do. And so that's what I was trying to make sure we accomplished.
Justin, you like to be trained on new products?
I do. I mean, and there's been products in my life that I've wished I would have been trained on earlier by someone like this. Wow.
You want to be trained on construction perm?
I'm open to anything. This industry's gotten not easier in the last 10 years.
You got to join AnnieMac.
Just send me the blueprint to my house and I'll read it, and then I'll be good. So,
it doesn't work.
I can download it PDF. That's fine too.
Let's
Take
talk
a picture of the screen.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's talk about technology, Ricky. Are you using different technology than what we already have available to our loan officers, or what's the platform like?
So the main platform, the loan officers are still going to be in Encompass. The only tech I added, which is not going to have to do with a loan officer, is we added Land Gorilla on the backside for draw tracking, title orders, and just a complete builder suite to manage everything on the back end. So that was the technology aspect, and of course, getting all those to line up.
So I got to ask, right? Because is AI coming into the CTP arena as well?
We are using it more for bots and agents and to answer questions than to actually. Every scenario is different, so that's AI can only help so much. It's more of a tool than resolving any or making decisions.
So where do you see, as far as the CTP product goes, in this, let's say the next 5 years, right? Because this obviously doesn't make a difference to us today, but where do you see CTP in? Because we are behind in housing, right? Builders need to build, homeowners need to build, right? How does CTP help that in the next 5 years?
Well, it's going to provide the funding. That's the biggest thing is when we were talking about earlier about builders, large builders can get capital because they're large. It's the small to middle guys. And so even if you're a small company, and let's say you're only doing 15 homes a year, but you have $500,000 out on 15 homes, that's $7.5 million you're going to need. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you bridge the cap using the opium, the best drug in the world, other people's money. And so that's what it is. You're providing a funding source for the builder and the borrower to complete the object. So it does help. It relieves the financial stress, cash flows, especially for smaller builders.
Yeah. All right. One last question that I think I have for you, right? What are the biggest bottlenecks operationally that a CTP loan gets stuck in that you've seen?
I don't know necessarily if it's operational, but majority of C2P loans get stuck when a builder and a borrower have not finalized the plans and keep moving around. And what I say by that, it's always the loan scenario of a borrower wanting to buy a piece of land and doing a construction-to-perm loan, picking out a builder, but not having plans done. And so the guy who owns the land keeps waiting around for the builder to finish. And of course, it always makes the lender look bad because they want to know what's taking so long. Well, I don't draw plans and build houses. So it's kind of, that's the one scenario where the big bottleneck happens.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it really follows another loan. The setup's different, but other than that, you're trying to close them in 45 days to cover everything.
And how many draws are we going to be doing? Is there a number that we're going to be doing for draws, or is it up to the builder?
No, so we have an initial draw at closing, and then there's 5 post-closing draws, 4, and then your final.
All right, yeah, that's pretty reasonable. And now, last thing I wanted to ask you, and I said this before, but you were pretty excited about this on stage the other day when I heard you. It's a one-time close for construction perm. We don't reissue credit reports. We don't reissue pay stubs. We don't reissue bank statements. They're good for 12 months.
Correct. Yep. They're actually good for the entire time. And that's the beauty of it. So it's a non-requalifying. Once it closes in that first 45 days, that's it.
I mean, so is every lender doing this? Because I don't hear this too often from other lenders that I've seen over the years.
So Fannie's always had the guideline, but they used to have a 700 credit score overlay. And recently, and I think it was January when they removed that for the no minimum credit score for their decision, they removed that as well. So we just implemented across the board. FHA and VA has always had it, but conventional just recently lowered the standards to help.
Yeah. It always seemed like it was a 2-step process. You know what I mean? You do the construction portion, then you got to qualify for the permanent portion.
So that's a 2-time close. And that's a lot of people don't have, believe it or not, to set up a one-time close in your system is not fun because you use what's called integrated disclosures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's disclosing the construction term and the permanent term all in the same form. So you can imagine how weird that looks. So that's a lot of systems aren't set up for that. So that's why they do the 2-time close. Makes it a lot easier. You just disclose a construction and then a refi.
Wow. So Justin, honestly, this is obviously something that we're excited about at AnnieMac, right? And I think when you're looking at CTP as being able to offer that as another tool to your loan officers or potential recruits, what could be the potential, I guess, for recruits? Justin or Ricky, what does that look like?
Ricky,
well, I was going to say your potential would be if you're talking to a recruit and they've never done C2Ps, now they have the ability to do it without looking or making mistakes. So like he said earlier, builders don't like mistakes. No one really likes mistakes. So our idea is to use our experience to eliminate that. And that way we could keep, as we're building it, as we're building the person, as we're building them to learn to be certified, we're making them the face. And we're giving them the confidence to say, okay, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
So that's one of the training things and recruiting.
I'll give you my 2 cents on this. I think that most loan officers have shied away from some product that they didn't know much about, were scared by, had a bad experience from, and that 10 years later, they've never done one, a bank statement loan, a rehab loan, whatever. There's a reason why they haven't done them. They've had presented clients to them that they've just kind of shied away from. So my advice to them is to find a way to become not an expert, but proficient in some new product that means you can perhaps unlock a new revenue stream and not just stick with what you know and what's safe.
Yeah. I think. Look, something I was telling a brand new loan officer this morning. She's never been in the mortgage business before. She just came in the business, and I said, if I gave you the cheapest rate in town every single morning, you would have one conversation to talk about with your real estate agent. Yep. I said, when I give you multiple programs, I'm giving you 5 different conversations, 7 different conversations to have with the different realtors. So I would rather have 5 different conversations than just one any day of the week. I got to ask, what was it like working with Joe P?
Oh man, Joe P's fun. So when you're talking about recruiting, I never thought I would actually ever leave the company I built. You know, it was my baby. It's something I built, but there's a special power in Joe P. You know, he laid out a good vision. We were able to, you know, coordinate like what I wanted to do, what I wanted my role to be, what my thoughts were, and it aligned with his. So it made it super easy on what we were doing. It was fun. I mean, he's a very smart guy when it comes to the industry. Yeah. Very intelligent, and just very humble. And so it made it super easy just to deal with someone. So I felt very comfortable of leaving a career of 18 years of making millions of dollars a year to move over. I mean, that was the biggest thing is to build something bigger. So earlier you asked where it was going to be in 5 years. It's going to have a lot more products. It's going to have jumbo products. It's going to have, you know, one jumbo construction loan, 1 and 2 time close. It's going to have USDA. It's going to have a lot of other things that'll go.
Believe it or not, at one time in like I think it was 2001 or 2002, I was actually doing stated income construction per to CTP through IndyMac.
Whoa.
Yep.
Say that again real slow.
Yeah. I mean, stated CESA loans, man.
I mean, the fact that we could do stated construction-to-perm loans at one time in our lives is just amazing. You know what I mean? And the fact that we survived to talk about it.
Yeah.
The old CESA and Ninas, man. Those were a different time.
Those were different, man. But I mean, you know, it was like they were asking for it, so we gave it to them.
Yep.
Don't get mad if I give you what you asked for.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rick, look, man, it was great getting to know you again. I've enjoyed our conversations when we have met up. You're always welcome back on Laugh, Lend, and Need. Anytime you want to come on and talk about any program that you're unveiling, give me a call, whatever. You have an open slot always, brother. All right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, man. And Justin, with you, anything exciting? Are you going to be performing anywhere anytime soon? Any comedy shows coming up?
No, I took the summer off, so nothing on the calendar.
That's right. In Minnesota, you guys don't do anything during the summer months. You wait for the.
We are outside. We are fishing and boating.
Right. Rick, think about this. In Minnesota, this guy's a stand-up comic. They don't book him until it starts snowing, so they can stay inside. He's got to travel through 80 inches of snow to get to some town that you can't pronounce because it's a Norwegian name. And then he goes inside and freezes his balls off.
To make $112.
I love it.
And then you drive home at 2 a.m, hope that you don't hit a elk.
This is true.
How close am I?
Moose, elk, same thing, right? You know.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much. Hang tight. Make sure you subscribe to Laugh, Lend, and Need on our YouTube channel. Please get out there, show some support so we can continue doing what we're doing. Okay? Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Talking leadership, making the big plays in the mortgage game through the sun and the haze. Close more deals, build your success. Time to level up and beat the stress. Get ready to laugh, lend, and eat. Your weekly scene. Let's go.